Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I'm Miss Lisa, and this is my YouTube channel where we talk about everything I want to with science and math. And what we're doing today is physics. If you're following along with the class, it's chapter 19, Diffraction and Interference of Light. Now we're going to do something a little different this week. What I want you to do is we're not going to go completely into all these ideas. A lot of the ideas in this chapter are more AP physics or college physics level. And so I want to just touch on some of the concepts. But what I want you to do this week is you can read it and kind of get an idea of it, but what you don't understand, I don't want you to worry about. There's a weird noise coming from my dishwasher. But what I want you to do instead is either, I would like you to go on a field trip. And I know that for some of y'all, COVID has the field trip places closed. So it depends on if it's available or not. But if it's available, I think you should go to Fernbank if you're in the Atlanta area and go to the physical science room and see the diffraction gratings and see the light experiments there. Go ahead and do all the experiments, do all the electricity ones, do all of them, because there are so many things at that physical science room in Fernbank. It's on the second floor, up in the stairs, kind of in the middle. But they've got so much there that we're not going to have the equipment to do the experiments. But they've got, better than what's at public school there. Also, there are other places. There's TELUS in Cartersville is one. I don't know if they have the physical science experiments, but they're a great little museum to go to. There's one in Birmingham. They have a science museum there too. So if you can, find a science museum that has the hands-on physical science experiments. Fernbanks has Benham's disc. It's got the light wall where you can play with the light colors. Just so many fun things. And you would be able to do that. But if not, and I know for some of you won't be able to, especially because of COVID. I don't even know if they've reopened those museums, especially the ones where you get to touch everything. I'm thinking maybe not. You might have to put this off till next year. But if not, what I want you to do this week is I want you to spend a lot of time going on YouTube and finding videos of these things. It's all there. There are so many great science videos. Go with your mom or dad, because there's bad stuff I don't know if you know this, but there's some bad stuff on the internet too. So find it with your mom, and I want you to just take some time to learn more about light, look at rainbows, look at just physics things on the internet. And if it gets boring, if you're watching a video and it's boring and over your head, I was watching one the other day. It was a college professor, and he made gyroscopes the most boring thing ever. And they're so interesting in real life. Hit skip and go find another one. But I want you just to, I'm going to give you a little bit of time since this is a little chapter and I don't want you to do most of it. I want you to take some time to just explore physics, explore what's on YouTube, explore, what's out there, and watch some videos out there. And I think that'll be good. Okay, so what is diffraction and interference of light? Okay, so if you look in your book, what we're talking about is that, do you remember, I think we talked about this before, but if not in physical science, if you had me there, is that light and electrons have two natures. Light has a particle nature and it has a wave nature. Electrons have a particle nature and a wave nature. And one of the reasons that we know the light has a particle nature is they had a piece of material, shot it with light, and it caused electrons to bounce off of it, to splash off of it. If light had no particle nature, it couldn't do that. Another thing they did is there's a thing where they took light and shone it onto a paddle wheel and could make it move by action-reaction forces. So if it had no substance to it, then it wouldn't be able to do that if it only had wave nature. It also has particle nature, and this is where they showed that it has particle nature, is that light has the wave nature where it can, remember when we talked about waves, how they can cancel each other out, or they can hop on top of each other, and that is if you pass it through a slit, a thin slit, you get these interferences and you get diffraction. And in your book you can see how they passed light through two slits, and it spreads out like if you had water waves spreading out through a hole in an ocean wall, and then places it adds together, and other places it cancels out, and it causes these dark and bright spaces. And you can see it in your book, it causes bands of light and dark. So that shows the wave nature of light, is that it can have that interference. Let's see if there's anything else I want you to do. This is one. If you take your two fingers and put them as close together as possible and hold your eyeball up to it, you can actually see the diffraction bars of light. So do this, hold your fingers as close as you can, and you'll see all these little lines between your fingers that look like hairs, and what you're seeing is the dark bands and the light bands. So everybody try that. I'm seeing it. If I can do it, you can do it. There they are. It looks like there's hairs between your fingers, and there's no hairs. So that's fun, getting to see the bands of light and dark. So like the experiment in the book is using a diffraction grating. You probably don't have one. All you got is your fingers to look through. So we're not doing that lab. It's a very short chapter. I want you to read it. That's your assignment. And then I want you to do, we're not going to do it. This is just going to be a part 1 video. We're not doing the math. We're going to save that till college. And what I want you to do is to just spend some time either going to a museum or doing some, watching some physics videos, especially with the light. But you can watch any of them that you think are interesting, because physics is very interesting. All right, like, share, subscribe. This is your easy week, so enjoy it. Come back next time and we will talk about chapter 20. Like, share, subscribe. Science is great.